Freak Nation, it's his first visit in the Lucas Oil Studios. Nolan Siegel running the IndyCar Series for Arrow McLaren. And it being your first time here in the Freak Nation, we don't have an initiation for you here, Nolan. I'm sorry to tell you about that. But, man, you are getting a lesson on how to deal with emotions, whether it's with Rasmussen or with McLaughlin or with the freaking high-spun Tony Kanaan. Do you have anybody around you that's keeping you level-headed with all these crazy emotions that you've run through? Let's start from Indy 500 to Detroit to where we are now, man.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster this year for sure. I think, it's definitely been interesting. I have great people around me. I have my engineer. It's her first year as a race engineer, but she's taught me a lot already. In dealing with emotions and dealing with Tony. She's worked with Tony a lot. So no, keeping him happy is definitely the goal, given that he's both of our bosses. So that's what we're working towards. And at the end of the day, I think results are what keeps him happy. So the goal is to produce some results. It's been challenging, but we'll get there.
Hold on. What did she say specifically on how to keep Tony Kanaan happy?
No. I'm joking. We all get along well. I think, having him on my stand as well has been really, really helpful. So I've had him there to kind of guide me through, and we have had some challenging weekends and some emotional weekends, and I think that's part of it. Do we get spun up? Like, sure. Is it helpful? Not always, but we care. And I think that everyone in the series, cares about what they do and wants to win. And when you don't, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
and everyone has a tough time sometimes.
Listen, we're celebrating 25 years this year, Nolan. We started this show 4 years before you were freaking born.
Right.
And we've had Tony Kanaan coming in here way back when he drove for...
Oh, gosh. We could go even pre-Andretti days.
Was it Panasonic on the side of his car?
No. But it's, way back when.
Regardless, and we know Tony Kanaan very well. And frankly, regardless, I think you couldn't find a better mentor in your seat with your first full-time ride in the IndyCar Series to have in your ear than Tony. I cannot say success without sex.
Success.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I know.
Kanaan in the Freak Nation.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's been incredible having him to kind of guide me, and especially when we get to the oval racing, when we go to Gateway, having him at the 500, he's been super, super successful, and has a lot of great knowledge that he's willing to share. So I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed, having his perspective on the racing side. I've enjoyed spending time with him, away from racing as well. And overall, just, really couldn't ask for a better mentor, like you say. So very lucky.
Well, Nolan, we're coming up on your 1-year anniversary with Arrow McLaren and being with Tony Kanaan and that whole avalanche that happened in June of 2024 and how exciting that was for you and your future in motorsports. Coming off a 24 Hours of Le Mans win and getting a new seat in IndyCar, how it's been, like you've talked about, it's been an emotional roller coaster up and down, but my goodness, there is progress going forward. And you're now getting ready to get on all these tracks that you were on in a hybrid IndyCar. This foundation of familiarity is going to come to you, and things are going to start to seem a little bit like that weight has been lifted off your shoulders, I would imagine. Do you feel that comfort level coming on this 1-year anniversary approaching?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
For me, this is going to be the first weekend that I did last year in IndyCar. So it's going to be so much easier. Going to a place like Detroit, right, where everyone else has raced there in the IndyCar. I haven't. You get 2 practice sessions to figure it out. It's just hard. And it's hard, especially when the goal is to compete with the people that you're racing against in IndyCar. Like, the series is so competitive that starting from a deficit it just makes the whole weekend so difficult. So coming back to all of these tracks that I've been to before, it's just going to be a head start on the weekend. And I feel like we've actually done a good job. The places that I hadn't been and that we hadn't been as a group, we've been fast. Like, you take Barber and Long Beach and St. Pete, and we've had pace. So I think it's all going to start coming together. We have all the ingredients. It's been tough, but IndyCar's hard. Like there's no way around it, right? Like this is hard, and we're doing something that we know is hard, and we're learning and we're taking it step by step. And I think that at the end of the day, we'll succeed when everything comes together. And once we get a little bit lucky, I feel like we've been supremely unlucky this year, so it'll turn around at some point.
Yes, and the street circuits have been extremely challenging. You're not going to have as many street circuits moving forward. So do you also maybe find a little bit of comfort in natural road courses and ovals? Again, coming from the entire brain squad that is at Arrow McLaren to help you out.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Without a doubt, it's going to be easier. And again, just places that I've been before. You go out and practice one, and instead of like learning the track in that car and figuring things out, it's going to be right to business and making the car better and making sure that we're in the right spot for the rest of the weekend. So it takes, like kind of half a practice session, I feel like, to just get comfortable at places I haven't been. And if you get rid of that, we're going to be in so far ahead of where we have been before. So I'm really looking forward to it. Gateway's a place that I've been successful, kind of in all different cars, and it's a place that I love. So to start this back half of the season there, I think is going to be really good. And it's been nice to kind of have a reset, and then hopefully we can come back and be strong there, and then go into the rest of the season and have that kind of kickstart the hopefully turnaround of results.
Yes, absolutely. Now, we're talking to Nolan Siegel, IndyCar driver for Arrow McLaren, joining us here in the Lucas Oil Studios. And aside from Tony Kanaan, aside from, let's say, your parents, who else is giving you some of the best, aside from your engineer as well, who's giving you the best advice? Maybe another driver in the paddock, maybe some friends, maybe just another mechanic on the team. Who's giving you some external advice that you're like, never thought about that before, and you're using it and it's working?
Yeah, I've been very close with all the people that I've worked with in the past few years. So my kind of started out as a coach in USF 2000 and spotted for me he's actually spotted for me at every oval race I've ever done, except for the ones in IndyCar. Charles Cruz, who spots for Willpower normally, but he's been a big help for me. And we've traveled the world together, raced a lot of different cars together, and having him there, obviously he's not working directly with me, but has great advice. And it's nice to kind of have a familiar face at the track, and what is such it's a big group at Arrow McLaren, and it's a lot of people that I haven't worked with before, and we're getting close, and it feels like a family. But it's nice to have someone that's kind of been with me through all of the other phases of my career. So I would say that he's been kind of the main mentor aside from anyone at the team currently.
I love that you said that, because people do want to assume that it's just you and the team. It's like, no, it takes a village, and a village outside of the team sometimes. So that is such a refreshing thing to hear, because you need your allies in every single corner of the paddock. So that's cool. Good story.
Hey, Nolan Siegel joining us here in the Lucas Oil Studios, flying those Lucas Oil colors with Arrow McLaren. And Nolan, you look at the team you're running for with McLaren, Papaya, the notoriety of McLaren from Formula One to IndyCar and everything in between. The pressures that fall on a driver, not just to win races, but to represent a brand. Have you had brand awareness coaching? Like, you represent McLaren, brah. You need to approach interviews like this and not say that, and be sure to say this.
Yeah, for sure. We've definitely we have our media briefs and have the messaging that we want to get across, but at the same time, a big part of McLaren's brand is being genuine, and I think that's kind of the most important thing. We're, as long as we don't say anything horrible, we're allowed to say what we truly think, and I think that the team wants us to say what we truly think. And it's nice to kind of have a voice, and if there's anything we don't agree with or anything bad that's happened, we're allowed to voice that. And it's refreshing to have a brand this big be so genuine and not quite so corporate. It's something that I was really surprised about. Like, the first weekend I showed up and I was expecting this kind of powerhouse corporate environment, And it's really not. It's a family environment. Everyone loves what they do and is genuinely excited about it. And even on the comms side, it's the same. You know, people are excited to be here, and we want to express what we truly believe.
Nolan Siegel joining us here in the Freak Nation. I'm not going to tell you what Kyle Kirkwood said when I asked him this question. We make a big deal out of having an oval after the 500. We think there should be an oval after the 500. I don't drive a goddamn race car. Nolan Siegel, do you think there should be an oval after the Indy 500, or do you like how it sits where it goes Indy 500, street course, oval at World Wide Technology Raceway?
Honestly, I think there should be a week off after the 500. I don't really care what the next race is. So that's where I'm at. I think Detroit is pretty exhausting. Whether it was an oval or a street course or a road course, I think it would be just as exhausting.
That's the perfect answer.
Why not be honest, man?
That's exactly right.
Well, you talked about the success that you had, and it was the Formula car that you had at World Wide Technology Raceway. Is this a track that you roll into and go, man, this may not be home, but it's pretty freaking close, and I expect to do well here?
Yeah, for sure. And especially with this team where we've been really strong, I think historically kind of the strongest at short ovals of anywhere. It's really exciting. After last year, I think we actually had a shot to be on the podium and fight for a win last year, which, I feel like I have grown a lot and am much better now than I was then. So that's very exciting for me. And hopefully I don't speed in the pit lane and throw it away this year. That's the goal.
Yes.
Oh,
being a part of the Lucas Oil family, we second that, my friend. Trust me.
Thank you.
Nolan Siegel, again, flying the Lucas Oil colors for Arrow McLaren here in the Freak Nation. Get set for World Wide Technology Raceway this weekend, dude. Thanks for doing this, man. We look forward to getting you back more in the Freak Nation, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.